Millie, at least come downstairs and say hello, Grandpa called up the stairs. It was Christmas Eve, and Grandpa had been blasting Christmas music all day long, singing Silver Bells and White Christmas and others of Millie's least favourite off-key in the kitchen, while he baked the ham and decorated the cookies. From the level of noise downstairs, Millie assumed that her aunt and uncle and cousins had arrived. This fact did not fill her with joy. Nothing did. Millie, reeling, dragged herself downstairs. They were gathered around an antique glass punch bowl that Grandpa had dug out from who knows where in this house full of stuff. They were wearing Christmas sweaters, all of them. Even her annoying little cousin Aunt Sherry had on some wearable abomination with a reindeer that had a light-up nose. Uncle Rob, her dad's goofy brother, wore a red sweater with candy canes on it, and Cameron and Hayden wore matching elf sweaters. It was all so hideous that Millie feared her eyes would bleed. "Merry Christmas!" Aunt Sherry greeted her, opening her arms for a hug. Millie did not move towards her. "Hello," she said, her voice dripping ickles. "Off to a funeral," Millie, Uncle Rob said, nodding toward her head to toe. "Black and purple clothing." He always said this to her, and apparently never stopped finding it hilarious. "I wish," Millie said. "Better to be in an honest and than a fake happy one, and she would certainly prefer funeral organ music to being forced to listen to Winter Wonderland again." "Millie isn't celebrating Christmas this year," Grandpa said, "but at least she agreed to grace us with a present." "How can you not want to celebrate Christmas?" Hayden said, looking up at Millie with a big innocent blue eyes. "Christmas is awesome!" He had a little lips that came out when he said it. Christmas and awesome, which Millie supposed some people would find cute. "And presents are awesome," Cameron said. Millie supposed some people would find cute. "And presents are awesome," Cameron said, pumping his fist in excitement. Both kids were so hyper it was like their parents had poured them full of black coffee. Millie wondered if there had been a time where she got this excited over the holiday, or whether she had always known better. Other culture is already too materialistic. Millie said, "Why do you want more stuff?" Her aunt and uncle and cousins all looked uncomfortable. Good, somebody in this family needed to tell the truth. Sherry, a smile on her face. "Millie, won't you at least have a cup of eggnog? Drinking eggnog is like drinking phlegm." Millie said, "Really, how much a disgusting beverage become a part of any traditional celebration. Eggnog and fruitcake both seemed more like they should be part of a punishment rather than a celebration." "What's?" Aiden asked. "It's that gross slimy stuff that's in your throat and the nose when you have a cold," Aunt Sherry said. Cameron raised his cup. "Yum, egg snot," he said, then took a big drink that left an eggy moustache on his underlip. Millie couldn't take it. She had to get out of here. "I'm going for a walk," she said. "Can we come too?" Aiden asked. "No," Millie said. "I need to be alone." "Oh, don't stay too far," Grandpa said. "We're eating dinner in an hour." As Millie headed out the door, Grandpa called for her to remember her coat, but she ignored him. All the houses in the neighbourhood had extra cars in their driveway, no doubt because of visiting family members celebrating the holiday. All these people acting the same, doing the same thing. Presents and eggnog and hypocrisy well, Millie was different, and she wasn't going to participate. She thought again, and this time the word stung her. Dylan had said she was a hypocrite because she judged Brooke by her appearance. But boys, even boys who seemed cool like Dylan, were fooled by appearances. If a girl paid any attention to them, they'd think she was a saint and a genius rolled into one. No way Millie was a hypocrite. She was a truth teller. And if some people couldn't handle the truth, that was their problem. After one lap around the block, she was feeling pretty cold, but there was no way she was going back in the house yet. An idea popped into her head. Grandpa's workshop had a little space heater he always kept running. It could keep her toasty warm while she waited out the party. He was too busy hosting his lame little holiday, gathering to go into his workshop. It was a perfect place to hide. Grandpa kept the key under a flower pot beside the shop door. Millie found it, opened the door, and pulled the chain on the bare light bulb that lit the windowless space. She closed the door behind her and looked around. The place was even more cramped with stuff than it had been the last time she was here. Grandpa really must have been hitting the yard sales, flea market and salvage yards near his workbench was a rusty antique bicycle, the kind with a giant front wheel and a tiny black one. There were lots of old mechanical toys too. A metal bank with a clown that flipped coins into its mouth, a jack-in-the-box that started and the jester doll inside jumped out. Even though she knew what would happen once she started turning the crank, there was even one of those horrible grinning monkey dolls that changed symbols together. Why did Grandpa want all this stuff? And what did he plan to do with it? Repair it? And then use it to clutter the house some more, she guessed.